Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know, just like this. Welcome back to Gunners Collective TV. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, make sure that you hit it. Put your notification bell on all, so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun is kicking, and that way you're back at it like a torta with a bad habit. Bye. Thank you guys for all your support. I'm very humbled. So are you kidding me? Prison is changed, right? And I stumbled across something that I was just like, wow, man, what the hell's going on here? They got a new program in the California prison system, right? With all these lockdowns going on, with all the chaos, all the murders that are happening, you need something to help people rehabilitate, right? I always thought, the word rehabilitation, I know CDC, they added that R, to make the taxpayers happy. I didn't see too much rehabilitation programs being offered. I did see schooling, college, certain things being offered, but when you're living that lifestyle and you're in prison, not a lot of people are going to take advantage of these certain programs that are put out there. But there's a new program that's being put out there, and it's actually for people who are doing a lot of hold time, people that are being sent to administrative segregation time and time again. There's a program, and it's not being offered in all prisons. I know it was, right now it's in kind of the phase where they're just trying it out, until someone fucks it up, which is what usually happens, right? But they've tried it at Corcoran Prison. They've tried it at several prisons. I know the women's facility in Central California, they're doing it there. But it's actually a virtual reality program. Okay, they're actually taking you outside of your cell, putting you in one of the dog runs or the cages, and they're giving you a virtual reality, a VR set. And this is meant to show people what you're missing out on. They're hoping that this program could help rehabilitate people into basically stop offending. The recidivism rate is pretty high right now. There's a lot of people going in and out of prison at a crazy rate. And I don't know if that's due to, what's going on in our communities and society, with all the technology and the social media, but people are definitely going in and out of prison, and they're finding loopholes to get in and out, out and in. I said in and out, and Wes Watson's ears perked up, right? He loves In and Out. He likes In and Out burger all the way in. But I think this is a good program. I think it's kind of crazy. It's kind of alienish. It's something that you never thought you would see, but they're actually giving people VR sets. And what they're doing is they're showing people clips of different holes, different administrative segregations throughout the state, and showing them just how bleak and how miserable it is in these different prisons. And then the next phase is they're showing you places that you've never been before, exotic places like Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Spain, England, places that a lot of these gang members and people that really have never been and don't think they would ever see. In one of the virtual reality clips that I seen, or one of the clips I seen about it, one of the women that's incarcerated was talking about she went from being in a hole to being in paradise, a 360 view of being on a beach with waves crashing. There's a lot of people, and this is crazy, a lot of people that have never even seen the ocean. We all seen the movie American Me, when Santana was on the beach and he told his chick, or the chick, I've never been to the ocean before. And she asked him if he liked it, and he says, I do, right? When you open people's minds, you expand their minds into different realities, into different things. You show them there's a different way. There's a lot more out there in the world than just what they're used to, the barrio, the neighborhood, the graffiti, the griminess, the people that are cutthroat and out there trying to work you or get over on you, then it's a good thing. Okay. With the way the California system has been going lately, with all these murders and this new program that they implemented to help people, I agree. I seen Dubs did a video on it. I think it was yesterday, the new project, okay, that they got going on. And I agree with his philosophy totally. The people that want to continue to fuck up and want to continue to be activated and do what they feel is necessary that they have to do in prison, put them on their own yard and let them fuck some shit up together. Okay. And the people that actually want to program, change their lives and do good when they get out and take care of their families, put them on a yard so that they can do that. It doesn't mean someone's a sucker or they're not a gangster or they're not with it. It's just people have different mind states and mentalities. Some people go into prison and they become more of, it's more chaotic. They become more of an attribute to the violence than instead of to trying to help themselves to change. You know, when we got family members that are locked up, and I know when I was locked up, my family always hoped, man, I hope he comes out with a different mentality. I hope he decides to change. I hope he leaves the gangs behind him and he realizes that his kids need him, that his family needs him, that there's much more to life than just the California prison system. Again, it's ultimately up to you as a person, what you decide to do. Do you want to change? Is there a reason why you change? And I wanted to talk about the people that drop out, okay? It's funny that someone will be removed. They'll be all in, functioning, doing all the bullshit, getting involved in the drugs and the gang violence and whatever it is that comes with incarceration, right? And then all of a sudden they get in a wreck and they get whacked or they get removed or, they get pushed out of the gang or they're no longer welcome to the general population yard. Then guess what happens? All of a sudden their mind state changes. All of a sudden they want to do good. They want to go to church. All of a sudden they want to get out and they want to take care of their families. And not necessarily did they make this conscious decision to do this on their own, but they were kind of pushed into the corner. And so that's all they have left. So to me, that's bullshit. To me, the individuals that do that, or that adapt to that, it's bullshit because they were not ready for that. Now, I'm not saying all of them are bullshitters and trying to get over, but there's a lot of people that I've seen that have done that. Oh, I should have did this earlier. Oh man, I'm goody two shoes. I'm all good, right? Nah, just fucking 2 weeks ago, you owed fucking a gang of people on the yard because you were popping pastillas, pills. Don't act like all of a sudden you're a changed man because you're no longer welcome. People that get the options and the opportunity to choose and do something different and take advantage of that because they want change, those are the people I'm behind. I'm like, yeah, and no Diddy. I ain't behind them like that. But I'm behind them as far as, yeah, those are the type of people that I know want change, so they demand change. Now, there are programs that are being offered in prison. Don't get it twisted. Okay, but there's a lot less people nowadays taking advantage of the situation because they're not trying to better themselves. They're hoping to just get their time over with, not get caught up in some conflict or the least amount of conflict as possible, and then get let back out into society where they have not changed. Their mentality is still the same. If anything, it's worse now because they got a whole lot of energy to spread out there, right? Now, this virtual reality program trips me out. I've seen a lot of movies. And in fact, I seen a thing, I think it was maybe a couple of weeks ago that just popped up. It was from TikTok or whatever. And they were talking about putting a microchip or something into people that committed crime, say they did a murder or whatever, and putting them to sleep, inducing a coma, putting them to sleep. And this microchip would put all these different memories. It would erase the memory of who they were and put all these different memories and basically change the person, influence them. And when they felt that person was fully recovered or a changed man, then they would release them back into society without having done 30 to 40 or 50 years for the murder or whatever. That's some old Running Man shit. That's some old Total Recall shit. Never in my day did I think, I never even understood what virtual reality is. I'm still catching on to it. I understand it's kind of a places you into a reality that's not really there. It's virtual. Right? What I mean? That's all I can explain. I've tried it. I got a VR. My daughter does. I bought it for Christmas. Where what is it? It's called the Oculus. And I've tripped out on the games, and it really does make you feel like you're in there, man. That's a dangerous game. If you're trying to play the boxing, you're gonna fuck around and break a hole in your wall, right? It'll hurt your hands. But at the same time, I understand what they're trying to get at and do. What they're trying to do is show people that there's more out there in reality than what they're used to. See, a lot of us that were born in the neighborhood, in the barrio, that was all we seen. That was our 360 view. Treacherous individuals, gang members, cutthroat shit, disloyalty, a lot of things going on around us. And so we adapted. We built thicker skin. We understood growing up in the neighborhoods, especially in a place like California. Don't get it twisted. This happens everywhere. New York, Atlanta, Michigan, Florida, Texas. It's crazy everywhere you go, right? It's grimy situations, some more than others. But all I can speak on is my experience. And looking around me, my panoramic vision, my 360 view was hood. Okay, I seen gangsters cruising by. I seen people selling drugs or taking drugs. I had family members that were in and out of incarceration. It seemed like every month we were throwing a party for my Theo Joe or my father or another cousin that just got out. It was always just getting out, but where was the party for them just going in? There wasn't. There was a lot of tears, a lot of miserable people running around because they got locked back up, right? And instead of trying to help them, we enabled them by sending them money, going to, sending his chick to go visit them, writing them letters, and making them feel like everything's going to see all right, cuz when at the end of the day, we should have been giving them an ultimatum like, hey, if you get out and you continue to do drugs, we're going to distance ourselves from you. You're our family. We love you. We love you that much that, hey, get the fuck away from us until you get your mind right, or you figure it out, or that's just that. See, I was part of that will. I was part of the bullshit problem. I was in and out of incarceration. It wasn't nothing to me because I had already built that layer of thick skin in the neighborhood, and I knew what was expected of me as a gang member. When the virtual reality hit, when I was no longer functioning as a gang member, I was no longer involved. And let's not get it twisted. I myself was not ready to go. Okay, there was things in the back of my mind where I was questioning my gang affiliation and association. I seen a lot of disloyalty. I was being disloyal to a certain point, right? There was just a lot going on. People were getting removed and whacked all around me. Homeboys that I grew up with, people were falling off, going to bad yards. I didn't understand why I was continuing to strive for what I thought was a losing cause. Okay, my mind was fucked up, but still, even then, there was no way that I was going to have anyone think less of me. See, nowadays I get called a dropout, a punk, a step back, garbage, basura, piece of shit, all this. It's okay, because in my heart and in my mind of minds, I know exactly what I am. Okay, I know exactly what my family thinks of me and what they believe I am. So there's nothing anyone can say that could hurt my heart. See, I got too old for that shit. I got too old to try to impress other people or worried about guys that I've never even met, strangers, what they think about me. I'm not trying to impress upon anyone that that's the way to go. It's different for everyone. But I was put in a position where I was not totally ready. But the situation that I was in, I had no choice. Okay, was it bad politicking? As some say it was, some say it wasn't. At the end of the day, yes, it was not a decision that I made on my own, but a situation I got put in that was probably the best situation I could have ever got put in, because now I don't have to answer to anyone. I don't have to go in the hood and pretend and put in work and do certain things, man, to make someone say, oh, that's cool, homie. You did that. I know I fucking did that. You ain't got to tell me I did that. I'm the one who did that, right? Where were your antennas when I was doing that? Because a lot of these guys that used to be like, damn, homie. And then you ask me, where were you that other night, homie, when I fucking did what I did to that vato? So I was getting my old lady, homie. I was getting me, my one. I said, hey, give me a high five for that one. Come on, bro, put it there. Nah, homie, I'm going to put it there because, see, there's certain guys that were really living the life to the fullest and truly dedicated. And there are those that were half-stepping. And I remember there was a gang of half-steppers, So anyways, with all that being said, there's a new program in California, the virtual reality. And I think it's a great thing. Now, we'll see how many people take advantage of the situation. How many people realize that, hey, there's more out there in the world than just that neighborhood or that same old fat chick that everyone boned in the neighborhood. There's a lot more going on. My whole dream, my bucket list in life is to travel and to see the world. And it's not because, oh man, I want to say that I've been there and I've done that. Them days are over. I've been to places that other people have not been to, and I've done that, right? I want to go to a place that I could be proud of going to, and something I want to see that's going to, make my life more virtuous. It's going to make my life better because having been there, I opened and expanded my mind to different cultures, different foods, different places, different women, and I've seen different things, and it's my own personal bucket list. So I think it's a great thing that CDCR is actually, put this program out there. Now, I'm not sure how limited it is. I'm not sure if it goes by certain levels because they didn't put that out there. But I do know that there have people, they do it in the hole. Okay. And imagine that. Imagine being in the hole. You're sitting there all day. For those of you who've never done time in administrative segregation or the hole, it sucks. Okay. You get a lot of time on your hands, 23 and 1 usually, but usually it's 24 hours every 3 days you get out of yourself for a shower or for yard time, which is basically you're isolated anyways, unless you're in a place with a dog run where there's other people, but there's no interaction. Okay. Imagine being placed into a cage where your mind's out of there. You get to sit in Hawaii. You get to go to Puerto Rico and see the beautiful sights. You get to go to Spain and learn some of your heritage, because no matter what you say, whether you like it or not, the Spaniard heritage, the blood runs deep in the Mexican culture. Mexico wouldn't be Mexicans without Spaniards. That's the fucking God's honest truth. Now, we understand, those that know the culture and the history of how treacherous it was and what the Spaniards did to conquer, the indigenous people, which the Mexica people, which made up Mexico, right? But at the end of the day, it's still a positive thing to go back and kind of see, why these people are the way they are, or why the area is the way it is, and travel to these certain spots and see these landmarks. I think that's a great thing, because it changes your mindset. It intrigues people to say, hey, shit, I can make it out there. I want to go there. I now know that the only way to get there is to do something positive, go out there, get a job, hustle, work, whatever, so that way I can get to that spot, because I want to someday put my feet in the sand. I don't just want to see the waves. I want to hear the waves crashing at my feet. So I think it's a great thing. Again, it's something that CDC is implementing. They've been implementing a lot of things, giving people tablets. There's two reasons why they gave tablets. One is to keep their mind out of the violence and out of the bullshit. If they give people an incentive, it calms most people down. The second thing was to monitor interaction and monitor that person's movements. Let's just keep it real. CDCR is not giving you anything for free. There's always an agenda behind it. Okay. At the end of the day, the more lockdown they can keep you, the better for the integrity, the safety, integrity of that institution. Believe me, a lot of these CEOs that work there will tell you, if they could just lock you up forever and not have to deal with you and no interaction, that'd be the greatest thing for them. They're not worried about trying to help you reacclimate back into society, or trying to help you be a better you or a better version of whatever you think you are. Their whole thing is incarceration, mass incarceration, slamming you down, putting you in a cage, because they already think you're an animal, man, because you have animalistic tendencies and the way you act. Lately in the California prison system, we're seeing more murders occur in a quicker time than any time ever. And that's because of rule changes. You give a bunch of convicts, a bunch of criminals leeway, you give them a foot, they're going to take them out. That's expected. It just is what it is. Anyways, there's a new virtual reality program going on. If you've been in prison since they started this, let me know in the comments exactly how it goes down. What's the criteria to be eligible for that program? I know a lot of these things, they started in the lower levels and they kind of work their way to the top. But if it's starting in the hole, most of the people that you see in the hole that are doing an extensive amount of time in the hole are usually there for some violent reasons. And I think that's what we got to do. Instead of starting from the bottom, like a bunch of monkeys, and working our way into it, bunch of lab rats, right? What they need to do is start from the top and see how those type of people react to the situation. I know if I was given the opportunity of virtual reality, I would have did it for one and two reasons. One, it's getting me the fuck out that cell, and I'll do whatever I have to do to get out of that cell because of the redundancy and the boredom. And two, I'd be kind of like, hey, interested in what's going on here, man. Why can't I get, where's my social status of equality? I want my fucking virtual reality headset too. Now, is there going to be J-cats that are given the opportunity to probably break some of these sets and act stupid? Yeah, of course. There's always bumps in the road. But the majority of the way of thinking here with this is that a lot of people are going to get the opportunity to see things that they never seen. And I think that in itself is a great thing, especially a lifer. Imagine someone who's doing life that's never going to get to see these things. Imagine how it would change him or calm his mood or his situation to actually be able to see something outside of them walls. No one ever thinks about the lifers. And I understand a lot of these guys have done crazy criminal behavior that have put them there, and they deserve what they got, right? But there are certain situations where people did their crime when they were younger. Their mind was different. They're not that person anymore. And they got to sit there day after day and see violence on the yard and criminal activity happening, and they don't want to be a part of that. So if this is a situation that could take them up out of that, I think this is a program that they not only should use in the hole, but they should use all around the prison yard, because it can help it just helps their day. It just changes your day. Now, I'm a firm believer in, if you are an SA or you do bad shit, weird shit, then you shouldn't have anything coming. And they should create a virtual reality for them that shows what can happen to people who commit those type of crimes, right? Put some fear of God into them. Anyways, that's just my take on it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think it's bullshit or real? It is actually real. They're doing it. Look it up yourself. They're doing virtual reality to help the recidivism in prison and change the mindset and basically show people that there's more out there. I don't know. Let me know what you think. thumbs up or thumbs down. See, heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, strive for what I truly believe in. And that's definitely the betterment of all people, the gun.